thanks for stopping by today. I hope you all are having a great day. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Carol and I'm so glad that you stopped by. Please consider subscribing, like and share my videos, and follow me on social media. I will leave all the links in the description box below. So today we have another Christmas video. This one is by request and we are going to be making hot cocoa bombs. They are all the rage right now and they are really fun to have on hand, great for gifting, and they're much easier to make than what you might think. You are going to need one of these molds. I bought these on Amazon. I will leave a link for them, but you can find them at almost any craft store. So you're going to need those. You want the silicone ones. They're the easiest to work with, and it's really easy to pop your chocolate bomb out once it sets. The other thing that you're going to want to use, obviously, the higher quality your ingredients, the better your hot cocoa bombs will be. So I highly recommend using Baker's chocolate. Ghirardelli is fantastic. Or I'm going to be using the Ghirardelli chocolate wafers. Now be careful when using wafers. Some of them can be too soft to set well, but I did did some test ones with the Ghirardelli chocolate wafers and they set up just fine and they're nice and shiny on the outside. So I didn't have any trouble using these, so you pick whatever chocolate is convenient for you, whatever you can find on hand. Obviously you're going to need some hot cocoa mix. I'm going to be using my homemade hot cocoa mix. I will leave a link in the description box and an iCard for you here. I do have recipes for white chocolate and also for double chocolate, and that's a fun video to watch with lots of great recipes on there. So anyway, you can make the homemade. It's not hard to do, or you can use whatever hot cocoa mix that you like that you can find in your grocery store. You're also going to need marshmallows, any embellishments that you want to add. So the sky's the limit. Lots of great flavor combinations. I will leave some ideas for you in the description box below. Now, obviously, you're going to need a way to melt your chocolate. I'm going to be demonstrating using a double boiler. I'm just using a small saucepan with a bowl that will fit on top of my saucepan. You want just enough water, like about an inch or so of water in the bottom of your pan. You do not want the water to actually touch the bottom of the bowl. So you want a bowl that will fit nicely on top of your pan, and you'll see that close up here in just a second. I prefer that method. You can melt your chocolate in the microwave. I don't prefer doing it that way. I've had chocolate seize up on me and you can't do anything with it once that happens. So I like to use the tried and true foolproof way of doing it. So that's what I'm going to be demonstrating. You do what works well for you. So I'm going to bring you in close and we're going to get started. Okay guys, here we go. I just have, like I said, a really small saucepan. It has about an inch and a half of water in the bottom of it. It is barely simmering. You do not want it boiling or cooking too hard. You just want it barely simmering. You just want the water actually to be hot. So I'm just using just a bowl that fits nicely on top without touching the water. I've put my chocolate wafers in there, and we're just going to heat them until they're fully melted, and then we're going to transfer them to transfer a little bit of chocolate at a time to our silicone mold. In between, we're going to do 2 layers, and you're going to want to let them chill either in the refrigerator or the freezer. If you put them in the refrigerator, you're going to want to let them chill for about 5 minutes. If you use the freezer, you're going to want to let it chill for about 2 to 3 minutes. I like the freezer, it's a little bit faster. So let's get our chocolate melting. Okay, you want to, once your chocolate starts to melt, you want to stir almost constantly. You do not want it to seize up on you, so just make sure you're stirring very frequently. Once your chocolate is completely melted, you want to make sure you remove it from the heat, or in my case, I've got gas stove, so I just turn my gas off. I do continue to let my bowl set on top of the pot that I was using, and now I'm just going to take a regular soup spoon. You can measure really accurately if you want to. You want about a tablespoon of chocolate. I'm just going to use my little soup spoon, and I'm going to fill each cavity with about a tablespoon of melted chocolate. Now this next part, you can use a pastry brush if you prefer. I think the back of the spoon works just fine, and we're going to work it up the edges of our mold to make our half sphere. Make sure you get it all the way to the top. Once you get your chocolate in your molds correctly, we're going to pop this either in the freezer or in the refrigerator. I'm going to use the freezer. I'm going to let it set for about 3 minutes. If you use the refrigerator, you want to let it set for about 5. And then we're going to come back and we're going to repeat that process. Okay, they were in the freezer for about 3 minutes. So now we're ready to do our second coat. So again, you're just going to do the same thing. You want a nice spoonful of chocolate, approximately a tablespoon. It doesn't have to be exact. And then again, take the back of your spoon or a pastry brush and work it up the sides all the way to the top. Okay, back in the freezer they go for another 3 minutes. Okay, so I left them in the freezer for about another 3 minutes. So now we are ready to remove them from our mold. I just turn them upside down and then gently push on the bottom of the mold. Okay, now this one, you can see I got a little bit thin. He has a little bit of a hole there, so I'll just repair that and redo him. We have our nice little half spheres here. So now what we want to do is we're going to fill them and put them together. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to warm the edges of our half sphere. So what I like to do is I just take a plate and put it on top of my pan that I was using as my double boiler. I'm going to turn it back on and I'm going to heat up my plate. Okay, once your plate is warm, you're going to take one of your halves and you're just going to touch it to the plate until your chocolate starts to melt. Don't want it to melt too much, just a little bit. And then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of our cocoa mix. Add some marshmallows, some mini marshmallows. Any little candies or anything like that you'd like to add, you can do as well. Then we're going to take the other half, warm it up, and then we're going to put the 2 together. Just like that. And just barely push it together. If you have any that oozes out, you can smooth it out with your finger. And then I like to hold them in a muffin tin, just like that. So now we're ready to do some embellishing. Okay, just to help out with some problems that you may have. I had some that I did not do a good job of getting coated evenly, so that one's got a hole. These other ones have a little bit of a hole. So I'm just gonna pop them back into the mold and I am going to fill in where the holes are and then refreeze them for a few minutes or refrigerate them, whichever, to cover the hole. All is not lost. You don't have to start over. Just patch up the hole is the best way to say it. Okay, so now we're ready to do some embellishing. I used dark chocolate for my bombs, so I melted some milk chocolate just so it's a little bit different color. You can just drizzle some across the top. You could use white chocolate, or you could use, you could tint your chocolate. If you use a white chocolate, you can tint it any color that you want. But I'm gonna keep it nice and simple. I'm just gonna drizzle some chocolate across the top and then sprinkle some holiday sprinkles across the top to make them pretty. We just wanna give the sprinkles something to stick to. So I'm just using a pastry bag. You don't have to use a pastry bag if you don't want to. I just think it makes it easier if you're just going to do some drizzling across the top. So if you just want to make some nice lines across the top like that, or we can do a little bit in a circle like that and then add some holiday sprinkles. Add some of these guys. some peppermint crunch. We'll add a little bit of nice peppermint flavor in the background. Or again, just a nice drizzle of some extra chocolate. And then I would pop them back in the refrigerator or freezer for a few minutes, and there you go. They're all set to go and ready for gift giving. So what do you think? How fun and easy was that, and so much less expensive than buying them at the store? I was with my sisters the other day at the Morgan House here in Dublin, Ohio, and they wanted $9 a piece for these. I can make a whole bunch for $9. So anyway, I just wanted to show them to you again, how pretty they are. It wasn't hard to do. Nice gift to have. Fun for the little ones. Great to see those marshmallows popping up. Lots of fun. Just a great treat for the holidays. So I hope you'll give them a try. If you have any comments or questions for me, leave them for me in the comment section. You guys, I appreciate you so much supporting my channel. I hope you are enjoying the joy of the holidays. It really is the most wonderful time of the year. And I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.